Hey, it's time for the Twice Removed podcast with Linda and Gina, where we talk about all things genealogy, including making connections with long-lost relatives while snooping in on our ancestors. Hey, it's good to know where you come from. This is an Anya Business Show, and we're talking about genealogy research and privacy.
Where rule number one is we don't discuss living people in public forums. It's kind of like Fight Club and Vegas.
What happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club.
The first rule is don't talk about living people.
Well, kind of goes to say, I would hope most of our listeners are above grade 4 level and would probably know to respect their family and maybe not.
Yeah, they're not because social media, everything's out there, right? So they figure, oh, this is just like that too.
Well, you know what? Then that's the caveat, and it's a catch-22 because, how they certainly go about finding people like on Twitter. The FBI will put something and say, do you know him? And they're like, Twitter, do your thing. And, 2 minutes later, they know who it is and where he's from, where he works and everything else. So
that's why we want to keep our genealogy stuff respectable and, in consideration of people's privacy.
Well, and it's different. I mean, if you're robbing a bank or causing an insurrection or something like that, and they want to know who you are to press charges, then that's one thing. If
that's different.
If you just don't want to be shown because somebody had a oopsie or something in your family tree, then you know what? Keep them hidden. That's their business.
Well, family trees, basically, if those people are on your family tree, then their settings are set for living, and you can't tell who they are anyway, except for their gender.
Really?
Yeah.
Good information there.
That's basically, that just shows you how you're supposed to do it. If you start putting people as dead, you have to put the years, so.
Right, but now, if you share your profile with your matches, your DNA matches, can you disguise your name and keep yourself private and they see that it's just a match? Is that how that works?
Yeah, sure. But, it's like they're generally the only ones who are going to see it unless somebody shows it to, the person sitting next to them or somebody has access to their account or whatever, which, families do that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I have some matches that disguise their name. I don't know who they are because they just use their initials, and then their tree is private. So it's basically just a match. And unless it's like a really big one, I don't care. But if they're in there and you're like, man, I wish I knew who this was because they could connect me to somebody else that I'm trying to link into.
Yeah, that's the bummer part of it because they might have some really good information. And
so it's kind of like, why are you even doing this? You're very introverted.
What? For straight up and down and black and white that genealogy may be, there's so many gray areas. Oh, just so many. And as you just dig deeper, then it's grayer and grayer.
Well, if you get a surprise with your DNA matches and suddenly it's like, wait a minute, who's this guy? 50% parent.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't know this man.
yeah, right.
So a non-paternity event or a not parent expected NPE.
Oh, that's what an NPE means.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've heard it bounced around and I, thought, well, I'm not going to look it up. I know what it means, but it doesn't mean that. So it means non-paternity event or non-parent expected. And what does that mean?
It means it's like you didn't realize that you're paternal or maternal too. I mean, because it could, the not parent expected could be the mother. Like you think that your parents are your parents and then you get this 50% match that says it's your parent.
Do they have support groups for these people?
Oh yeah.
I would expect you'd probably need one after that.
It's a whole brand new industry. I mean, it's not that new, but it's a new industry now because of all of this. Because
is it any different than being adopted out and then going back and getting your records?
Yeah, but you already know that. This is a shocker thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, not expected. I guess nobody's ever expected until they're told, oh, by the way. But, but here it's like, you're looking for yourself. It's like, huh? I don't know either of these people. Did I get the right results back? And you start doing all this weird stuff in your head, and then suddenly it's like, you know?
Well, yeah, and see, as far as like adoptions go, it's more private, and it's, you know, records are sealed or whatever. And here it's just like
it's
cat's
a leak
out of that bag.
It's literally a leak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
spittoon leak. Yeah, somebody didn't get the memo, and so yeah, or maybe
do you know anyone who that's happened to?
Well, there's stuff on Reddit all the time. You know, okay. Yeah.
So much for privacy, right? Let me just post it on Reddit.
They can talk about it. It's their thing.
Yeah.
It happened to them, and so they're freaking out. They're coming on there saying, I've got somebody who's a half brother and I didn't know it, you know? Like, who is this person? So there's that. It's the other direction where you're finding like half siblings, and then you're not related to one of your parents in your family, but your brother is, and you're trying to sit there and go, oh, well, how come I don't have any of those people?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Well, and you know what? If you discover that this is an NPE, just keep it confidential till the people involved say it's not, because we don't need destroyed relationships and all that stuff because of a little oopsie. And you know what? The older people that are the parents and all that stuff, they don't get this newfound technology. And I've heard like really bad things happen to family members that have called people on things, and they're just like, oh, you know, anywhere from, you know, you're trying to clone me, get away, you want my information, you're trying to scam me, and it's not pretty. So until you get the okay, don't keep it under wraps, people. Keep it under wraps.
That's right. None your business.
None your business. That's it.
And then the one thing that you do need to be a little careful about, because you don't want to just out there everywhere, but when you download your DNA file from either Ancestry or 23andMe or whatever, you can get a raw data file, and then you can take that file. It is now no longer safe on their secure server. It's on wherever you put it, right? So you kind of have to be careful where you put that. I don't know what anybody could do with it, except maybe use it and then pretend they're you know, by uploading it someplace, right? So
because everybody's fighting for that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're all wanting to be me.
Yeah, right. Me too.
So you know, because you can take your Ancestry or your 23andMe data, DNA data results, and upload them to MyHeritage or GEDmatch, and you know, figure out if you have any connections over there that you wouldn't have gotten from the other servers.
Okay, well now it goes with that. If you're uploading things to GEDmatch and stuff, can the law enforcement have open season on you if they're looking for somebody?
Well, that's the one that found the Golden State Killer back in 2018. And now I remember when I signed up for it for GEDmatch a month or so ago, I think it was something you had to opt out of, not opt into.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. Just if you don't want to deal with it, opt out. But, you know, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, yeah, if I have the Golden State Killer in my family, I'd really like you to take them away. So exactly. Whether they're a family member or not, it's like, hello.
Yep. Take them away. Here. Yeah. Use my car and rope.
Well, you know, there's so much information that's already on public record anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You can always look up everybody's stuff anywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't even know how they get some of it.
Have you seen anything of your picture and you're like, oh my God, what the hell?
Well, you know, those silly yearbooks that we all posed for back in the day. You know, school pictures and whatever. It's like somebody thought it was okay to republish all of that without my written consent.
So there's like the awkward 7th, 8th, and 9th grade pictures where
these are all like high school, like junior high, 8th grade up, but just like for 2 years or something or whatever. I mean, my best hippie look. So,
and you know what? Some of the photos too, when you see the old timey ones of our deceased relatives, they're so nice to share. And you might, you know, somebody might be trying to research it too, that is your cousin down the road. And it's nice for them to be able to put a face to that name too, that may have never had it or something.
Yeah, that's how I got, is it second great grandmother picture just was floating around. It must have been,
Wow.
I mean, she was really, really old in it. So it was towards the end of her life when people started having cameras.
Have you had any privacy issues from your stuff that you've done?
No.
Or any unwanted like attention or anybody?
No.
Yeah, neither have I.
No, I mean, people are doing this. They're really wanting to find out information. And it's more of a, I don't know, kind of like a family journey in reverse just to see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the moral of the story, if it ain't your business, don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Until it's everybody's business that needs to know in your family and they're okay with it, especially the person.
I mean, I have my trees, sometimes they're public, whatever. And that's okay because most of the people who are on there are deceased a long time ago. And they can't see who's alive.
And if they can, that's a whole nother show.
It sure is. Yeah. Yeah. But it's nice to be able to have somebody verify that what you're looking up is correct, because I had somebody come up and I'm like, can this really be? Was this particular aunt remarried? I would never have known that if somebody would have kept their tree private. And this happened in the 100 years ago. Okay. So
wow.
I didn't know she remarried. And you could trace it back. You could see where her first husband died in 1911. And then next thing you know, she had a daughter with a different last name who was born 3 years later. Yep.
Oh, wow.
She had remarried. Okay. Nobody told me.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Fascinating.
So that's how you find out, right? Through somebody else's tree that they left public.
Well, there you have it. So what happens on Twice Removed stays on Twice Removed. Thanks again for listening. The Twice Removed podcast is produced by Linda Anderson and Gina Glass. All opinions expressed are of our own and of our guests. For more information and upcoming guests, please visit our website, twiceremoved.net.